Do people still come up to you and be like, Dr. DeLuca?
When I see mothers and teenage girls, I like go the other direction.
Well, we got the two stars of Wild Cards, Vanessa and Giacomo Gianniotti. I know this season the chemistry turns up a notch. How do your partners feel like when you guys have to get, a little bit close?
You really ask those questions, don't you?
Who takes longer to get their makeup done?
Honestly, that could depend.
Oh. Your fans, they've followed your career. They've seen like the ups and the downs.
Self-love. I really feel like when you have self-love as a woman, you don't compromise your boundaries.
What song are you singing typically?
There's a boy I know.
Last question. Who's the better kisser? Well, we got the two stars of Wild Cards, Vanessa and Giacomo Gianniotti. Thanks so much for joining me on the BG Show.
Thank you.
And congratulations on season 2 of the show.
Yes, it's huge.
Be careful.
No guts, no glory. Who has more fun than us?
A lot of shows don't get renewed.
I know.
You know what I'm saying? Especially in this climate. So
Yeah.
to make it to season 2, how does it feel?
I feel super grateful.
Yeah.
As you said, especially in this climate, and we're blessed to be working, have such an amazing cast, and be on a show that we both genuinely love. It's a blessing.
The fans really made this happen for us. I mean, we got so many amazing response from the fans. They just sort of totally ate up Wild Cards. They got the show.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's hard when it's like a show it doesn't miss the mark, but it doesn't find their audience, and then later it finds its audience. So I was just so happy that like it found it right away, and we're able to like hopefully even grow that audience even more this season.
Both of you have like loyal fans who followed your careers from obviously your past lives. Like Vanessa, I know like starting off this year, big news, professional, personal wise, you're engaged. I heard.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, we can apply to that. How does it feel?
It feels great.
And who's the man?
My fiance's name is James. He's awesome,
Yeah.
and he's the father of my daughter Kaya.
Oh.
So yeah, I gave birth last year as well. So a lot of, and then filmed Wild Card. So it's a lot of big things for me this year. I mean, last year it's so weird. It still feels like 2024. A lot of big things 2024 for me.
Yeah, and congratulations on everything, by the way.
Thank you.
Because I know, your fans, they've followed your career. They've seen like the ups and the downs and the difficulties. And I know you've opened up about your past, relationship and stuff like that. I know that was a hard thing for you. How does it feel to overcome that?
I feel anything that you overcome that's difficult only makes you stronger.
Oh, you better speak on it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I am who I am because of everything that I've gone through. So yeah, I just feel like I'm blessed to be at such an amazing point in my life and living what I've prayed for. So yeah.
And now that you have a daughter, so many people our age, like they're starting to have kids, they're having kids and all those things. Like, what type of dating advice would you give her as she grows up?
Oh my gosh. Self-love and everything will come. Religion is huge for me. I, pray and I, all the glory to God.
Yeah.
So I think teaching her that self-love, I really feel like when you have self-love as a woman, you don't compromise your boundaries.
Giacomo, I know you have your divine life partner. Do you feel like it all worked out for you because you were in that mode? Because relationships are something that a lot of people are struggling with, like in this day and age. Like everybody talks about it.
Yeah, I think my situation is different. It's like I found something I wasn't looking for, I guess.
Oh, what do you mean by that?
Or even ready for, to be honest. So, I had just kind of moved to LA. I'd been there like a year. And, when I met my wife, it was like I was single and I was dating. And it was one of those cases where I just found someone that was just so special and the connection was so immediate that I was like, I would be absolutely insane to let this, slip away. And I knew I had to lock it down.
Yeah, wait, you locked it down.
I locked it down.
I feel like that's when it comes though, is when you're
But I was
not
looking for it. I was not looking for love at all.
Yeah.
At all. I was just, newly on Grey's Anatomy, and I was there. I just moved to LA, so I was just exploring and having fun. And then I met this person that I did not expect to meet at all. And so I really found like a kindred spirit in her, and I was like, we're like the same person. We gotta make this work.
Yeah, that's what happened with you, Vanessa?
With James, I mean, I was just focused on work and my son. And I actually met him at my job randomly. It wasn't even,
Give us a story. Like, how did it all go down? Like, what, were you getting your hair did and then he just like walked into the room?
I was, he was actually in a scene of Riverdale.
Oh.
He's acted on Wild Card, so I wasn't going to say like he wasn't acting or anything. his old basketball coach, he happened to be in town because he was living in Europe. His old basketball coach put on his Instagram story, hey, I need like some of my actual basketball players that I used to coach for a scene of Riverdale. Is anybody in town who would want to do it? And she was like, I'm in town for a couple weeks. Like, sure, I'll do it.
Yeah.
And then I was cheerleading in the scene. And then we figured out that we lived in the same neighborhood, which is so rare because I live an hour outside of the city. And he lives 5 minutes from me. Wow. So we just like walked the beach and it was just ever since then we've been together.
Yeah, now you got that red.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I want to know, because I know this season you guys have a bit of, the chemistry turns up a notch. And, you guys are a little...
We hope so. Season 2, we got to keep adjusting that dial.
Well, it's definitely adjusted. So, I mean, how do your partners feel like when you guys have to get, a little bit close and...
That's just, a part of the... You really ask those questions, don't you?
I get right into it. I mean, this is also your last interview of the day, so might as well.
Look, nobody, like, my wife totally gets it, and we've been together a long time, so she just knows it's part of the deal. But even though, like, she's incredibly supportive and, like, totally gets it, doesn't mean, like, she enjoys it. Like, nobody likes to watch that. Yeah. But I think it's just, like, if you have faith in your partner and, like, you're in it for the long haul and you know that that's the person that means something to you, then you know that it's just make believe. Yeah. Just like I'm pretending to be a police officer, I'm also pretending to be in love with her. It's the same thing. You know what I mean? And if I've done other things that are like this is very PG if I'm being frank.
Okay. You can also take it R-rated here too.
Yeah, no. And I've done stuff like that, and like there's nothing sexy about it. I'll tell you.
Do you ever mess up?
Sure. What does that mean?
I don't know. You tell me. I've never had to pretend.
But I'm just saying it's an inherently awkward thing, right?
It's
like
very,
we're generating these things, and there's people all around us watching us do it. So it's an inherently awkward and intimate thing. So it's not as like steamy or glamorous as it seems like on a polished product when people watch it at home.
Unless that's your kink or something like that, because some people like to go to those clubs and
play like make believe.
No, like actually,
like role play. You're saying?
No, like there's like venues that people can go and have sex in.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
In.
And you're versed in this?
No, I just know. I'm a reporter. I've reported on things.
A reporter. That's what we're calling it today.
Undercover.
Right, reporting.
I just had to check out the scenes.
Yeah. You're like, I'm sweating.
Yeah.
Partner.
So what changes in season 2?
I think, we're always trying to, like we were talking about, adjusting those dials, the line between her and I that goes from friends to more than friends, like we're always trying to sort of like ride that line. That's what keeps the show going forward. And then like week to week, you're still going to get like all those amazing cases, and you get to play detective along with our heroes and try to solve the cases before they do every episode, which I think for the audience is like the fun part. And then we do this really cool thing on our show, which is we do these little themes and nods to other films and television. And so each episode, we kind of go into these different worlds, which makes each episode feel like a kind of different show.
Yeah, and you get to play a cop. I mean, do you think you could ever be a cop in real life?
I don't think so.
No?
I have no interest in being a police officer, and I got all the respect in the world for them.
How did you have to train to be a con artist? Like, did it just come naturally to you, or...
I watched a lot of Ocean's 11.
Oh,
and
nice.
Catch Me If You Can. It didn't come naturally to me. I wouldn't say I'm a con artist in real life, but I feel like I have some street smarts, and I know how people work, and that's all about she's really good at being a people person and manipulating people. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's a really fun character to play.
Yeah, and you guys get to film in BC, and you're from BC, right?
I live there, but I'm not from there. I was born in Ottawa, Ontario.
Oh, you're from Ottawa?
Yeah.
Okay, 613.
Yeah.
Stand up.
Are you from there, Sonny?
No.
Oh.
You said it like
you just knew the 613.
Yeah, no, I have to go to Ottawa quite often.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just work purposes. So you probably love living in Vancouver over Ottawa.
I love. Yeah. Oh, you have some hate on for Ottawa.
No. You're gonna get me in trouble.
You're gonna get me in trouble. Oh my god.
Love me.
Well, I mean, Vancouver's a bigger city. It's a little bit warmer than Ottawa.
Yeah, Ottawa is cold.
Toronto, right?
Also cold.
Also cold, but not as cold as Ottawa.
No.
Yep.
So the fact that you get to film in Vancouver, do you prefer?
I love it. I mean, last season we started a little earlier, so I got more of summer, which I enjoyed. This year we kind of went into November, December, which was just like really rainy, which I feel like can get to you. Like not seeing the sun for a long time. I get it now when people said that like it's rough in the winters.
Yeah.
Not from like a temperature point of view, but just like like seeing the sun like makes you happy. It does something to you, right? So it's like when you're without it for so long, it does. It was getting to me a little bit, so I'm happy to see the sun.
Yeah, I wonder though because so much of Vancouver is part of your life. So much of Toronto is part of your journey. The fact that you're in Toronto right now, but you had to film in Vancouver, like which city do you guys think is better?
Vancouver.
Oh, watch your mouth.
Yeah, it is though. I'm sorry.
No, Toronto's a better city. Toronto,
No.
like hands down, is a better city, and Vancouver and BC, I think, as a province, is more beautiful and has much more to offer.
Okay.
Because BC, you got the ocean, mountains, gorgeous forest, lakes, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And but I mean, culturally as a city, the impact that in history Toronto has, I just think is like unbeatable.
You know what? I kind of agree. But Vanessa, do you want to try to change our minds?
I think it depends on what you're looking for. Like obviously you're going into like history and things like that. For me, I'm a nature person. So, but he did point out that's like what's amazing about BC. So for the city, I like a more like a quiet, more peaceful city. And I know Toronto, you're getting a lot of, it's kind of like the Canadian New York.
So what about us?
What about us?
Are we gonna stay partners?
I'm assuming that when you guys are out and about, because you were on such, major staples before taking on this massive role as well, do people still come up to you and be like, Dr. DeLuca, save me and rescue
Absolutely.
me?
When I see mothers and teenage girls, I like go the other direction.
Do you really?
Yeah, absolutely.
It was such an iconic role. What was it like working with Shonda Rhimes?
She was great. She's intimidating. I'll give it to her. Like, I got to know her over the years, but like in the beginning, I was like, she just like commands. It's just one of those people, like, I don't know if you've ever met, like when they enter a room, just like the air just gets sucked out of it.
Yeah.
And everyone is just like, boom. You know what I mean? Like, and like, because of the success that she's had over the years, I just like, she's just really well respected.
Vanessa, we were wondering, before you guys got in here, because River, did you name River after Riverdale?
No.
Okay. Well, we didn't know because we thought potentially was that.
I've been asked that a lot.
Yeah.
I've been asked that a lot.
So
No,
clear
I
it up
didn't.
for the people then.
Yeah.
She named
I
her
did
second
not
kid.
name
She named
River
her second
after
kid Dale.
Riverdale.
Did you not know that?
People joke about that too, but I will say,
You got jokes.
he does have a lot of jokes actually. But so River in the very last episode of Riverdale ever, in the finale, the series finale, he played a character called Dale. So they kind of made like the joke of it, River as Dale.
Yeah.
But no, the name, I love going for a walk by the river near my house.
Oh, okay.
So when I was pregnant, I did that all the time. And I also love River Phoenix. I love that name.
Yeah.
So now, do I get a badge?
My favorite dynamic duo is here to stay.
We actually have a little game that we want to play with both of you. So we have these paddle boards. Okay. They have your beautiful faces on them.
Okay, nice.
And so I'm going to ask you a question. And basically, you're going to put up the face of the person you believe is most likely to do that.
Okay.
We all got the rules down pat?
Yeah.
Because if this is like my family, I'm going to have to explain this like 3 times.
Yeah.
No.
Jamaicans
We
are
got
like-
it. We got it.
Okay. All right. Question number 1. The game is actually called Who is More Likely? Dun, 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 dun.
Dun, dun,
Sound
dun, dun.
effect. Who is more likely to forget their lines? Oh, Vanessa! How often are you forgetting your lines, girl?
Not that often.
Question number 2. Who takes longer to get their hair done on set of Wild Cards? Oh.
I mean, come on. That's not even fair.
We were wondering if it was you, actually, when we came up with these questions. Yeah, because you got a great set of hair.
Thank you.
Number 3. Who comes to set late the most often?
She just had a baby.
Okay, all right. We'll
So
give you a
we
pass.
give
give you a
she
pass.
gets a pass.
Yeah. Okay.
Fashionably late.
What does that mean?
Fashionably late and well dressed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So when you come out, everybody stops and stares.
Just fashionably, in my PJs. I'm always, I love
The last week you had your Christmas PJs. I love those.
Every day, yeah.
Okay. Next question. Who takes long? Well, I feel like I know the answer now. But who takes longer to get their makeup done?
Honestly, that could depend.
Oh.
Because
Okay.
I do my own makeup on set.
You do your own makeup on set?
Yep.
Why?
because I'm good at it.
Okay.
And I also like doing it.
Yeah.
So if I'm rushed, if I know like, oh, I arrived late, like really late,
Yeah.
like I can do it in 15 minutes.
Wow.
If I'm like, it's like a meditative thing for me. But if I like know I have the hour and a half, then I'll take the hour and a half.
Okay.
I do my own makeup too, but I just take longer than her.
Do you actually do your makeup?
Yeah.
Didn't know that.
I'm kidding.
Oh. I was gonna ask you what's
Oh,
your
I was going
routine.
to say you do a good
No,
job.
I'm kidding. I don't know what I'm doing.
Oh.
I can trust the professionals.
Okay.
Next question. Who is more likely to binge watch Wild Cards in one sitting?
I don't know. I mean, I do watch cuts of the show. I'm interested, so yeah, I'll watch the show.
I don't know. I feel like this could be both because
Yeah.
maybe, I don't know. If my kids would, I have to like split it up. Realistically,
Yeah.
not me because I would have to split it up.
Yeah.
If it was like at evening time, the kids are asleep, then I
Yeah.
could probably get away with it.
Do you ever get like weirded out watching yourself on screen, or is it like, okay, I'm watching, I'm gonna critique myself? Like, what's that feeling like for you when you watch yourself?
For
on
me,
screen?
it's kind of like one and done is my rule of like thumb for like what I've done in the career. And nobody really told me that. It's just something that's just kind of like established for myself of like, okay, I just need to watch because like I write down things of like objectives like I have in the scene, and so when I watch it, it's more of like, did I accomplish what I set out to do? So I'm watching it being like, oh, like that worked, that landed. I'm like, oh, that didn't. Like I could have done that better, and like that didn't really communicate what I thought it was going to.
Yeah.
So it's like. Yeah, it's like a reviewing of your own kind of work. But then anything beyond that, I feel, is a little bit dipping into vanity, which is dangerous. And so I just try to like assess myself and then move on, and try not to be like too much of a harsh judge of myself.
How about you, Vanessa? What's that feeling like when you see yourself on screen?
Yeah, I think when I'm watching, I'm critiquing the whole time.
Yeah.
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 It's hard not to.
Yeah.
Who is most likely to listen to music on set?
I feel like both of us are pretty into music. It's more of like, what song is Vanessa singing?
Oh.
And then it's like, yeah.
What song are you singing typically?
I'm like a jukebox. I just like,
all over the place.
All right, what song are you
It's
thinking of
awesome.
right now? Let's hear it.
there's a boy I know. He's the one I dream. That one came to my mind.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Lots of Whitney.
Yeah.
All right, last question. Who's the better kisser?
Who's the better kisser?
He had to bring it back.
Oh
had to
my
bring it
God.
back.
But how do you, it's like,
Okay, you can't.
Are you guys faking
I'm
the kiss?
sure. I'm
Like,
sure
is it-
everyone's gonna say themselves.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna say me, and I'm sure he's gonna say himself. But we're not kissing each other in the way that we're gonna kiss for. You know what I mean? To be like, I'm gonna. You know?
I don't know because I've never acted.
Oh, okay. Like I'm not.
Well, I
he's
mean,
not gonna be kissing me the way he's kissing his wife.
Yeah, true.
yeah, so I don't know.
I can't answer that
Yeah,
question.
I mean,
But of course, we're all gonna say like I would like to be confident in myself.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's the same.
Okay.
yeah.
All right, so it's an even answer.
Even answer.
Sure, I can't
yes.
answer it. Yeah.
All right.
Also, I feel like at the point in our characters, it's like we're not really a couple yet.
Yeah.
So it's kind
Yeah.
of rare. It's kind of like those
Yet?
first ones.
Yeah. There's not.
Yet. Yes. Yet.
I
I said it.
Exclusive. A PG so exclusive. But lastly, I mean, just for people watching, of course, who haven't tapped into Wild Cards yet, you know, again, tell people why they got to be tuning in.
It's a really fun show, and if you love like movies and television, we reference so much of that stuff. We have amazing guest stars like Martin Sheen, Ali Sheedy this season, and it's a really fun show. You get to solve these mysteries along with our characters. There's some really nice heartfelt moments that are beautiful, that I think are positive and uplifting, and I think there's a lot of darkness in our world right now, which we were kind of touching on. And so to watch something where like you feel good at the end of it and not like depressed is nice. So I think hopefully we try to every day go to work, make people laugh and lift them up, and so we hope that translates on the show.
Oh, that was so good. Anything you want to add, Vanessa?
Yeah, 8 p.m. on Wednesdays. I guess
Yeah,
that's the
there you
one
go.
thing I
Bang.
could add.
The
Yeah.
business.
That's
You
the
took care of the business
Yeah.
right there.
See, mother, CBC.
And it ain't going nowhere.
It ain't going nowhere. It better not. I got a show on there too. Thank you guys so much for joining me.
Thank
I
you so
appreciate
much.
it. Best of luck for everything.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
Hey, it's BG, and I want to know, what do you think about what you just watched? Make sure to drop your thoughts in the comments below, but also make sure to check out even more great content like this video and this video over here. And if you haven't subscribed to the Brandon Gonez Show, do so right now by clicking this button right here.